here we go again with another challenge. This time it's cookie edition. Let's get it. So I'm in here just browsing around. I have no idea what I'm gonna do. Just trying to see if anything pops out at me and gives me some ideas. So now that I'm in here, I'm kind of getting an idea of what I want to do. I don't know if I'll be making cookie dough from scratch, but I don't have time for that. But it should still be fun nonetheless, so let's go. Alright, so I am back home. Yes, you're getting raw, real, uncut right now. But let's get into this cookie challenge. I'm doing something a little bit different. It is still cookies. Yes, JT, it is. But I thought I'd do something a little bit different, a little bit playful. So let's get into it. But before we get into it, I'd just like to say that, fun fact, that I used to be a bakery manager for about maybe 5-6 years or so. So I kind of thought a little bit outside the box. I will say I'm not making it from scratch. I will say that. So I'm going to just keep it real. I'm not making any cookies from scratch. But just a fun play. Just brings me back to my childhood with this one. So come along for the ride. Alright guys, so these are some of the items that I did use. I didn't use everything there, but you'll see in the end what the final product was. So I decided to do a cookie cake. I thought it was just very nostalgic. There's a chain bakery that I go to that's been around since I was a kid, which is almost 40 years. Yikes. But it just reminded me of that, and I was like, you know what? Why not? So I broke up the cookie dough. It was just a little bit too hard. I should have left it out. But I used that. Yum. Love cookie dough. So good. Eat that at your own risk. But I did ended up using 2, which you'll see in a moment. And you just want to break it up a little bit. You want to kind of evenly distribute it through the pan. Sort of just think of like pizza dough or something like that. That's kind of what you're doing here. You just want to evenly distribute it so that it calls for even cooking. And of course, yes, my hands are clean. So if you do have the kiddos and you want to get them involved, this is something really, really fun for them to do. So this is kind of what you want it to look like. You want it to be evenly distributed throughout the pan. Otherwise, the cooking time will be completely off. One side will be burnt. One side just will be raw and not done. So I took a quick peek, but this is what you want your end result to look like. Golden brown. Look at the edges. That's a great indication of when the cake is done. So right here, I decided to decorate. So I didn't have any piping bags. I actually need to get some new ones. So I just used the items that I had around the house. I did work in a bakery, so I do have some tips that you see there. So for the piping bag, I just ended up using a sandwich bag and filled it and did my thing. Now, with that being said, I'm not going for any professional look. I don't have all the proper equipment with me, even if I wanted to do that. This is all for fun and for my consumption and my family's consumption only. So just the FYI there. So all I'm doing now is just continuing the decoration. You can get as fancy, as simple as you'd like. Again, this is all just something for fun. I chose to decorate and write just a little bit. Also remember, your cake needs to be completely cooled. If you want to open up a window, if your kitchen has a window, you're more than welcome to do that as well to speed up the cooling time. But don't do it while it's hot. It's just going to melt. It's going to be a gooey, nasty mess, and you've baked for nothing. You will have to just start all over. So completely cool, people. So as you can see, the cake is completely cooled as I'm cutting it. So the outside is nice and crunchy, crispy. The inside is so chewy and melty. Look at the chocolate. Oh my god, so good. That is the goal. That is what you're aiming for when you're making cookies. As you can see my reaction here, I absolutely loved it. It was so good. The people that I had in the house didn't want to be on camera, but everybody enjoyed it. So this is just a more of a close-up view so you can see what I was talking about, where it's chewy on the inside. Let me know if you ever made a cookie cake, or would you ever make one?